Yo, we're back again with some more League of Legends content. LCS, LTA content, I guess, as they say in the biz. So my last stream, which I thought I had brilliant, genius things to say that everyone should watch. I didn't put enough work into it, though, I feel like I should have been producing shorts. I feel like I could have done, like, a supercut of it. But I posted one little video, which weirdly had the most views of my videos on my channel. I expected it to get to none, but it ended up getting over 100. But y'all watched for like a minute, the first minute. So that tells me one thing. I shouldn't have put the little intro thing that I did. So we're not doing that anymore. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I thought it was needed. I thought the intro thing was needed, but apparently people saw my face, stuck around for a minute. Intro didn't even finish, and then they clicked off. Oh well. How it goes, I guess. How it goes. So we're talking about what happened in the games. Obviously, if you watched my last stream, I was glazing the old FlyQuest. I was glazing Inspired and Lion, but we did not choose C9 to win. We chose C9 to win 2-1 to Lion. And I mean, I'm a C9 fan. I'm probably a bigger Lion fan at the moment. It's just where my energy goes right now. It's just where my energy is like, oh, this Lion. But Lion looked good in the match. Am I crazy? Lion looked good despite, you know, they played C9. They lost 2-0. I mean, I don't know. I may be crazy, but I feel like Inspired in the way he plays the game has affected the whole league. It's just the way other teams are playing reminds me of, oh, this is kind of how FlyQuest used to play. And what Lion looks like now looks like how FlyQuest used to play when Inspired was on the team. It just like feels like it. Inspired played well. Saint had some inting moments, for sure. Berserker, I think, looks great. I think Berserker looks awesome. I'm really happy with Berserker as an ADC on Lion. But they lost. I mean, first game was close. Second game was, you know, obviously it was kind of a blowout, but then Lion almost kind of started making a little bit of a comeback there. It was looking kind of, oh, they actually might come back. And, oh, man, it just reminded me a lot of what FlyQuest was like last year with some of the matches they'd win where they'd be down a bunch. But it's like, I think Inspired knows his win conditions. And I still think Lion is working out the kinks. I am not down on Lions. I think they should make no roster changes. Honestly, I think the most worrying person on the team for me is Saint. I think Saint's a good player, but there is talks about how he tilts easy, or what I like to call it is he likes to make, he's a hero player, where it's like when things seem to start not be going the team's way, he will try and force an issue, force his will upon the game, and it doesn't work out. And then it just costs even more. And he'll do that repeatedly, just trying to make something happen. But I think this is where Inspired comes in. I think we could see at the end of that second game where I think it was Inspired in the bush. They caught out Quid, I believe. And I think Saint was there. And it's like, I hope I found that maybe that's a recognition point for Saint to think, oh, instead of inting and trying to force something to happen, it to me it looks like he clearly had no plan other to enforce his will upon something, which just doesn't work, especially in a game like League. Inspired can kind of pull that back, like, hey, our win condition is not for you to make a hero. Our win condition is for me to hide in a bush, not be seen. The other team's going to make a mistake, and then we punish that, make a bunch of money off of that, and things start snowballing. I don't know. So I'm hoping that created something for, I don't know. I see Lion still on the up and up, but they still lost to C9, and we were right in our prediction. And when I make this little YouTube video, if I make it a YouTube video, I'll show what I put on there. Anyways, on to Sentinels Dignitas. I actually thought Dignitas was gonna win against Sentinels. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't watch much of this game. I didn't watch much. I watched some things here and there. Like I think I had it on in the background, but you know how it goes. You get on your phone and you kind of start losing track of things. I think Impact is in his anime hero era right now. I feel like there's something with Impact where he's like what 32, 31 years old now or something. 30 maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's 29. Doesn't matter. He's an old guy in the scene. But I feel like just looking at Impact, dude, he's got a different level of intensity about him. He's got a different level of intensity about him this year than he did last year. So I'm excited to see where Impact goes. Sentinels won 2-0 against Dignitas, and Dignitas, dude, it's hard for me not to feel a little bad for them. I don't know. They look down on the dumps. Same with Shopify, which we'll get to. What I recall about the game, FBI just seemed unhappy. I feel like Palafox is trying to make the best of a bad situation. Top lane, Photon. Solid work, I guess. Just kind of, he's there. I think he does what I think Photon was the best player on the team during that their matches. I think he has some consistency to him, and to be honest with you, I feel like the players on Dignitas are honestly playing for jobs next year. They're literally just like, I need to start just showing what I can do and be benefit to when I get moved to another team. Because inevitably, things always happen in esports. There's going to be roster changes, I imagine. And it's going to be players from Dignitas trying to go somewhere else. I see people like FBI is a good ADC. Could end up somewhere. I still think Palafox could end up somewhere. I just think Palafox, I know people meme on him. Here's my honest thoughts on Palafox. And I don't want to be mean or I feel like Palafox needs confidence again. I don't know if that's mean. I just feel like he needs, call it a reality check. I don't know. I could see Palafox. He needs to go back down to tier 2. And he needs to prove his passion for the game again. He needs to play through tier 2. And be successful in tier 2, ideally. And then when he makes his way back up into tier 1, he's going to be a new player with a better eye and mind for the game. But I just feel like he needs confidence, and he needs to be put, sometimes, he needs to be an underdog story again. Like, he just needs to go back to tier 2, prove his passion, prove his skill, make it back to tier 1. Like, I think he just needs that fire again. He just needs that fire lit. Something. That's how I feel about the Palafox situation, because he has his moments where they're good plays. We saw it last year, and, say what you want about Shopify last year. I feel like Palafox was sometimes the key piece to that team, and somewhat of a glue. I think Contracts is becoming that glue. He was a little bit last year. I don't know, the whole team. Anyways, moving on. We were wrong with our prediction about Dignitas Sentinels. So good job, Sentinels. Sentinels look like they're on Fly and Disguise. I didn't really watch this one. Why am I even doing this? I didn't watch this one. But I thought Fly was going to 2-0. They did not. They lost. And without watching pretty much any of the game, that tells me, yeah, Fly is still chaotic. Fly doesn't always have the best plan. I think when Fly goes against, maybe they play down to their opponent or they play up to their opponent. Maybe that's how Fly kind of operates. Let's see FlyQuest against Lion, a much more controlled team. Let's see FlyQuest against C9, a much more controlled team. I think FlyQuest can have their moments of stardom and star power or whatever. But they over-aggress, and I think they recognize that. I think Griffin is a great rookie. But how I see the game, as a person who's only watched one season, last LTA was a great format. It was great. Hot take. But Griffin, you want a veteran jungler. I feel like you want a veteran jungler, someone who has a good eye for the game, has experience, and just has the ability to read what's going on around the map. And Griffin probably does. They all do. Grandmasters, challengers, whatever. I think Griffin will get there. I think Griffin, how he comes off to me, he's 19 or whatever. He comes off as a very smart person. He has passion and energy. He's got that youthful energy, which hurts him in moments, possibly, but it also helps. I mean, the vibes on the team seem like they're good. Good vibes are always a buff, a good vibes buff. He works out. Someone who works out, it's usually a buff. You consider that a team buff. But I do think Griffin just needs a little bit of time. But I think he could be a beast someday. I don't think he's the beast now, but I think he could be a beast someday. I do. He was in Korea at one point, right? We shall see. So we got that prediction correct. I thought it was going to be FlyQuest 2-0, but it's 2-1. I think was what I said, but I knew FlyQuest was going to win. Team Liquid versus SR. I thought it was going to be a 2-1. Team Liquid 2-0'd them. SR. Talk about SR. Another fan favorite team. I like teams that stick together. That's why I like Cloud9. That's why I like Shopify. I've never been a fan of the idea that a new team is the best team. Or anytime there's roster changes, I don't know. I like to see the growing pains, and I like to see a team work through things. That's why part of me kind of wish Shopify would have kept Palafox, but you don't know what happens behind the scenes. That's why FlyQuest, I wish, could have stayed together, but from what I've seen in different interviews, it sounded like it was just impossible for that to happen. At least between Bwipo and Inspired, but who are that was the core team. I think they, maybe they butt heads a lot, but maybe that's what made them so good is that they kind of balance each other out. And I wish they could get over their differences. But if there are differences, this is me reading into a situation I know nothing about. So yeah, Team Liquid 1. How do we think of Team Liquid? Quid is good. Quid doesn't quite hit the same as he did on 100 Thieves. I think there was a relationship between River and Quid that was special. I think the relationship between all of the 100 Thieves team was special. It makes me think about Dokla and Lion now. I mean, Lion... I'm a Lion fanboy. I'm sorry. But Lion now... They seem serious. Very serious, very down to business. They don't have a vibes guy. I think I'm taking this from one pre-game listen-in from the first week when they played Dignitas, I think. And Inspired was the one, he said something like, "Are you ready for this?" or whatever. Then Saint responds, and I don't know. I think Inspired tries to be the vibe guy, and someone has to be. I don't think it's bad what he did. I think that's what leaders do. I don't think it comes naturally for him, and I think it's a skill he's working on. But whether Lion needs a vibes guy, obviously vibes are a buff. But I'd be curious to know if you guys know of any teams that they're very business-like. Lion, to me, seems like they are very serious and intentional and very much have a winner's mindset. or like we're just getting down to business. Winning the game is expected. Losing the game, it's, let's go back and learn what happened. And like, there's not a ton of like laughing and jokes being thrown around. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we see with FlyQuest almost the opposite of what Lion seems to be, just in team demeanor. I mean, obviously there's a difference in ages and things like that, obviously, but I also think there's just personality traits as well, where it's like Inspired is not a kooky, wacky guy. He's not that guy. Idokla seemed to be a good veteran that 100 Thieves needed at the time, and I think maybe bringing in Dokla now is like, it's almost like he's an adult now. He's treated as an adult on the team. Everybody is treated as an adult on this team. And it's like, we go in, we practice, we talk about what we need to be fixing, and then we, go home and work or live our lives and whatever. And I think there is something positive to be said. And I know it doesn't sound glamorous, but when you aren't always ebbing and flowing, super high highs, super low lows, always on this roller coaster of emotions, but you're always just a constant flat line, then you're seeing a steady increase, and that's what you prefer to see as a businessman, which I am, of course. So anyways, Dokla has a different MO on this team. I don't know what's going on with Zamudo. Does anyone know what's happening there? Is he even good? I don't know. But I don't mind Dokla. I mean, Dokla played Renekton against Thanatos' Aurora. And, I mean, from the very beginning, I think a lot of us, even me, a very low rank play, Silver 4 ADC player, I don't play that much. I could definitely get the plat or whatever, so no, you can't flame me, okay? I play Aram and I have a life. Kind of, except for I watch League of Legends esports all the time because it's awesome. Anyways, but we knew Dokla's role was, he just needs to survive the matchup. He's not going to win lane, and even going even is really hard. Aurora against Renekton, I think anyone can see that if you just know a little bit about the champions' kits. So I think Dokla did okay. It did feel like Dokla didn't have much of an impact, but it didn't seem like it was really costing that much. It seemed like it felt like C9 was the more organized team, which they should be. They've been playing together much longer as a unit. Bring in APA, which APA is one of my favorite players right now. It has been. Even on Liquid, I like him. I mean, he's a good showman. He does the talking and chat and all that stuff, and that's always fun. But I don't know. He did those presentations and stuff that they say, and I don't know if anyone's ever got to. Maybe he posted on Twitter. I don't know. I don't get on Twitter anymore, but I think it's cool. He made a little PowerPoint presentation. Anything that makes League of Legends more adult, I like. Which is like, I feel like the opposite sometimes of like what's happening. Because when I look at League of Legends esports, I'd be curious to know what their age demographic is. Because sometimes I feel like they're playing this line of catering to young folk and like being very memey about things and very asking like fun questions. And this is a me thing. I know fun questions happen everywhere. Even things outside of League of Legends, I'll watch a podcast and, the questions from the audience are like, if you were stranded on an island and had to pick, and had to pick 3 items, what would it be or whatever? And I don't, I'm just not a huge fan of questions like that. Like, I'm just so serious. I'm just too serious for it. Maybe I'm just too old Like, I'm like, I don't care. This is a meaningless question to me. I want to know his thoughts about the game. I want to know about specific moments and what they were thinking. I want to know why they chose the items that they did, what their plan was. That's the sort of stuff that I want to see in here. But it doesn't happen all the time, and I know even coming up with like, I wouldn't be able to interview these players. Like, I don't know enough about League to be able to do it, but I like hearing it. But anyways, I feel like League is like, the LCS is like in this, like, they play to both sides. Like, sometimes it's like, I find really good content sometimes, like good questions, good analysis. I really like what you're bringing forth here. Great interview from this player. But then, I don't know, asking questions that are fun questions, they're not my cup of tea. But they are some people's, I guess. But to me, it feels like the LCS is like playing in this line of like, they don't know what they are. And maybe that's where it's at right now, generally. But maybe they have a perfect strategy. They know exactly what they're doing. I don't know. But that's how I feel about it. I feel like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, do I belong here? Do I not belong here? I don't know. Do I belong in the scene? You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think it's just me thing. Anyways, spoken way too long on that. What else? So yeah, really the games that I watched was Lion C9 for sure, super heavily invested. A little bit of Dignitas, Sentinels, Team Liquid versus SR. I watched it. But, you know, sometimes I check my phone. Lion versus C9, I don't check my phone. Because I'm like, I was super into that matchup. I think from now on, pretty much all matches that Lion play, I will always be really invested. I think they're my favorite team right now. They're just the team that I like their culture at the moment, which sounds so probably crazy to some of you. But I'm just a serious guy like that. I just like the seriousness, you know. I love the seriousness. C9's growing on me too. I think they have a culture of seriousness as well. I think, you know, I think they're good too, but Lion just has like that different, I don't know if it's underdog. I mean, they have Inspired, and I love the way Inspired plays. And like I said, a lot of my, I think, opinion and where I'm coming from comes from FlyQuest 2024 Worlds making it to quarterfinals. I started watching in the LTA religiously. Loved the LTA and how they mix South America and North America together. And Inspired obviously was a big part of that. And just the way FlyQuest played the game was different than how everybody else was kind of playing it. It almost felt like every other team had to change how they played to match what FlyQuest was doing, because that was just kind of the optimal way to play. And then Lion this year, you immediately see Inspired's touch on the map. Not just that Inspired is there, but you can tell that the style of game that they are playing is eerily similar to what FlyQuest was doing. And you can't reject that, because FlyQuest had like an 80-something% win rate. How that team didn't stay together is beyond me. I saw, and I know they have some beef, quote unquote beef, whatever. I hope they get over it and realize they had something cooking, bro. I know it sucked what happened at Worlds 2025. And sometimes changes just have to happen because it can't last that long. And I probably don't have a good grasp on just the amount of time that these players have to spend playing League of Legends with each other, and the amount of frustration that can occur. I mean, playing League with just me, solo queue, I get hella frustrated. So I can't even imagine. That being said, they were the best North American team. Someone has to tell me, has any LCS team ever had a better win rate percentage? It was like 80%. That's insanely, stupidly high. Like, that is miles above their competition. And everyone's talking about how, oh, the LCS, everything's kind of middling out. Everyone's much more competitive with each other now. I just think the ceiling was lowered. That's my opinion. I don't think anything really changed because the ceiling lowered. And maybe the floor went up a little bit. Maybe the floor went up a tiny bit, but the ceiling was definitely lowered. Right now, we're still in split 1. People have new teams, obviously, all that. But ceiling was lowered, and I really think that's the majority of why we think things are more competitive is because FlyQuest of old is no longer there because they were so much more dominant. You know, everyone talked about C9, the team that could have been last year. I never was on that train. C9 was that team, but they could never make it work. And I kind of just knew they weren't going to, I guess. I don't know. Like, you had to beat C9 to get to FlyQuest. Okay, off of it. I'm off of it. Anyways, that's where my mindset comes from of why I'm a big Lion fan right now, because I just loved the way FlyQuest played the game. I like how Inspired plays the game. Like, it's almost like he doesn't force objectives. I feel like that's like the big thing that I see personally is like he's perfectly okay giving up a dragon if he knows it's a bad team fight. Like, he's willing to back out, which a lot of other teams will commit to it. And that's when this chaos happens. And maybe that's what FlyQuest does. Like, but Inspired's willing to back off. Inspired's willing to find some other angle, willing to do something else. I think he's very efficient. And I like it. I don't know how young their players are. I gotta get off that. I like C9 too. I just want the team that's gonna be the best team to have a chance at Worlds, you know? And C9 does not seem that way to me yet. Potentially. I like APA. I think APA was a great addition to their team. Who'd they have last year? Loki. I think now adding APA... Let's think about their team. Let's see if I can even remember their whole team. Bottom lane, Sven, Vulcan, solid. Jungle, Blabber. He has moments. Good and bad moments. Mid lane, APA. Who is top lane? Oh, Thanatos, of course. Thanatos. Thanatos knows how to play with them. I think Blabbers are a weak point at the moment. But that could improve. I think as a team, I think they are a team that likes to commit harder than Lion likes to commit. I hate to say it, but I feel like there's a communication buff adding APA. I feel like APA fits in really well with that roster. I think they are, like I said, not that I don't, like Lion seems like a very serious team, almost maybe too serious. C9 seems like a serious team as well, in maybe the right way. But where's their je ne sais quoi? Where's their... When I'm watching a C9 game, it could very easily be like a G2 MCOY game, I guess. I don't know. I don't watch those teams enough to really know for sure. But it just seems like a standard, regular game of League. I don't really see their personality, their team personality on the map. I don't see the touch. You see APA's touch a little bit on the map, but the macro part of the game doesn't seem to be unique in any way. Whereas Lions, Inspireds, there's something unique to it. There's something about it that's like, it's a very specific way of thinking and playing the game. it's hard to pinpoint, where C9 doesn't seem to have a very specific way of playing and viewing the game. And that's the thing, is the best way I can put it. You guys agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's talk about next week's matches. I haven't gotten to watch the dive yet this week. It hasn't released as I'm live streaming this / recording this for YouTube. So, like I said, a lot of my opinions come from these different podcasts and things and videos that I watch. Like I said, I'm not going to like Legends of League or whatever it's called for stats. So I hope this music's not too loud. So Saturday, February 7th. Shout out Los Ratones. I think they beat G2 and MCoy back to back or something like that. They're like 4-4 or whatever, playing best of ones, which honestly, Europe, what are we doing? Best of ones, dude? Who wants to watch a best of one? That seems so lame to me. So lame. But I guess there's more content each day, but I'm not watching every day. And I feel like, tangent, very fast tangent, I feel like it's a thing between LCS and LEC are like testing something about viewership. LEC, they have matches starting like Wednesday or Thursday, and it goes all the way to like Monday or something. But it's best of ones, which I'm not into, but it's like, you know, more content each day, I guess. And then LCS is sticking to like best of threes, which obviously I prefer, and just on weekends, 2 days a week. So I feel like there's a test being done between LEC and LCS. All right. Some sort of viewership thing. Because obviously they're kind of like good relationship with each other. All right, tangent done there. Let's talk about next week's matches. Saturday, February 7th, Sunday, February 8th. Team Liquid versus Sentinels. Who do we expect? I think we expect Team Liquid to win this 2-0, I would assume. Morgan in the top lane. I don't think nothing super duper impressive, but I think he's solid. Quid obviously is impressive. Sentinels has Impact. I think Impact is in his anime arc right now. Like, I don't know. And Impact's got a different, I feel like he's got a different level of focus happening right now, dude. So I'm really excited to see that. I was happy to see Sentinels win against Dignitas, even though now Dignitas really in the crapper. I don't know what's going to happen. Anyways. I'm taking Team Liquid 2-1. Disguise versus Lion. Lion. Right. Lion 2-0. Dang. What a terrible game to watch. Lion versus Disguise, dude. I want to see Lion against pretty much anyone else but Disguised. Here's how it goes. Maybe because, you know, we talked about Saint, and Saint can int to a degree. And I think like Lion's on a learning curve. As we discussed earlier. What is this? Oh, so it's a best of one. Okay, we'll get there. Dignitas versus SR. I will say SR 2-0. I mean, this is, you know, Dignitas versus SR. I guess this is the exciting match. There's the blood battle between Palafox versus Old Team. Did SR make the right move? Because they both look atrocious right now. Not atrocious, but they look bad right now. I think SR wins. I think FBI has to have a good game. I'll say SR 2-1. C9 v Fly. I'm going C9. This is a moment to show if C9 can handle the chaos a little more. That might have been something they struggled with last year. I'll say C9 2-1. I think Fly is going to surprise a little bit. Maybe in the first series, maybe in the second series. But I think Fly is going to surprise with at least one match. Swifty C9 lol. Wait, do you watch League of Legends, Swifty? So I think that's where we're at. I'm going C9 2-1. I think Fly can do something. Good times. C9 off the car Overwatch. I've been thinking about Overwatch a lot more lately. I've been kind of thinking about getting back into it. And then I don't know what this best of one is. I'm guessing it's for... Probably like the winner between Dignitas and SR will play in one, and then... Mostly quick play though, since I'm retired. Bro, why are you retired? Why quick play? Mix up console and PC. Mostly quick play, dude. How many people do you usually have playing? Maybe I will pick it up again. I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's a single player game, but dude, it's actually really good. If you're into RPGs. Other than that, I now make League of Legends content. And Pokemon is still in my pocket that I'll go back to at some point. We get 4 to a full... Oh, you play 6v6? You played the first Kingdom Come? I think this... I haven't played the first one, but the second one is just improved. The combat, actually, is really fun, dude. When I first started playing, I had no idea how to freaking fight in that game. I was so confused. But I started a new playthrough. You know, I stopped in the middle of my first one because I wanted to try a different style of playing. Dude, and the combat... It's actually, it feels detailed and feels rewarding. Like, it's very fun. I'm trying to league since the WSD was released, and also you have 6v6 all day. Do they have 6v6 ranked? The combat's so nice, even the first one. Yeah. Dude, you're gonna play WASD League? I haven't played WASD League. I have no idea if it's good or bad or what. I barely play enough League, but I like watching competitive. Anyways, guys, that's my predictions. Wait, I think C9 Fly, C9 2-1. That's my predictions for this upcoming week and what we kind of thought about the games that happened. Peace. That's for a YouTube video, I guess. They do have 6v6 ranked with open queue. 5v5 is their baby, which is sad because everyone wants 6v6. Yeah. Open queue 6v6. Does that mean Goats is back? What's meta in 6v6 at the moment? Do I go back to off-tank? What's everyone's role? If I came and played with you guys, what would my role be? Or do you guys not care? Everyone just plays what they want. The only player, or only character that I think I'm actually any good at is Soldier. The rest, I'm probably plat level. Soldier, I'm at least Diamond. I made it to Diamond, a Soldier. And I think I would have kept climbing if I kept playing. But I wouldn't want to play Soldier in quick play. Soldier is too serious for me to like. When I play Soldier, I'm too locked. And I like. It's not that I don't have fun. I have fun being intentional and serious. I've gotten to Masters in it, but never really tried to push to GM or Champion. We all just kind of, yeah, just flex to whatever's needed. I think Juno is really fun to play. I could play Juno. Could play Juno. I could pick up Diva again. It's been a while since I've touched Diva. I should play Diva again just to prove to myself that I actually could do anything past Platinum, dude. I was hard stuck Plat. I never got out of Plat as Diva. Actually, maybe I got the Diamond briefly as Diva and then fell back down real quick. Soldier was the only character I actually was like securely in Diamond. So pissed that Diva never made it there. I think I tried to do too much as Diva when I played her. Looking back on it. Juno's fun. Diva's also pretty nasty still. Yeah, I remember you were Plat. I thought you got to like down. No, I mean, I've been whenever. I don't even remember when we stopped playing basically as a team, and that's basically like when I stopped. I know Wes made it as Winston did Masters, I think. But no, I just got stuck in Plat. Never really got out as Diva. I think I would get Diamond nowadays. Maybe not. And I don't know about not 5v5 being the main tank. I don't really know if I know how to main tank that well. I just go for off angles and and kill things. Plat chat. I feel like you could do it now for sure. At least Masters. You think? Is that because the skill level? You think it's because I'm just better, or is it because you think the skill level has dropped? Rank inflation is terrible? Yeah. It's kind of how I feel too. When I was playing Marvel Rivals, you know, I felt good and like I was climbing, but I expected it to be a little more hard. I think it's because it's both. I think I'm better now too. I do think I'm better now, generally. Even though I'm older, I do think I'm better. Rivals super easy compared to Overwatch, though. It's a lot more forgiving. Yeah. True, 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 true. You just off today? I mean, this is really all I plan to do. I was going to stream talking about League, which I've kind of done at this point. Oh, really? Oh, nice. That's cool. At least you know, you got something kind of moving. Dude, I just want to work in gaming again. Oh yeah, you just finished. Yeah. I'm taking real estate licensing classes next week is when they start. Thought I could maybe learn to do real estate My whole goal in life is to find a way to make enough income where that I can play video games. That's my goal. I want to drive everywhere now that I got a car and not stay home. And real estate is where the money is at. Yeah, I mean, that's what I hear. Real estate's where the money's at. I'm like, okay, let's investigate that, I guess. And you want to drive everywhere now? And not stay home? Dang. It's probably good for you. I'm still a homebody. I'm a homebody to a fault. I like remote work from home where I'm making enough to live in like a small place, travel, and game when I want. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I would like too. It'd be sweet. I want the world, you know. I'm like, I want to make enough money where I can buy a house, I can play video games all day, and I can travel anytime I want to. That's the dream. So maybe real estate. Maybe. I don't know. That's where I'm like, real estate, maybe something could cook there. I can cook something there. The 9 to 5 gig is, I don't like it. Because you can work remotely and travel at the same time. Yeah, true. If you don't mind, like, working wherever you are. But yeah, having that freedom has always been big for me. When it comes to any job, I'm always like, I need to be able to have my freedom. I don't like being micromanaged. I just need to be able to operate how I want to operate. Sharpen, dripped off to beat top viewers, best viewers, one online. Get out of here, dude. Or stay here and be a viewer that ups the viewer count. That's also okay. Yeah, that's cool. Dude, I've been like dreaming about going to work at Best Buy. I think working at Best Buy would be the coolest gig. Like, they don't, just don't pay well enough. But sometimes I just want a low stress, like, you used to work there. Like, I just want like kind of a low stress job. I go in, I'm working with like computers and electronics. Like, these are the things I'm passionate about, the things that I like. And I'm with like-minded people who also, I assume, like those things. And, when I go home, I'm just home. I don't have to worry about stuff. Sounds nice for me. Because right now, my job, like, even on, like, I'm just on call pretty much all the time. Even on weekends, I have to, like, do stuff if something comes up. Which is like, I'm allowed freedom. Like, to do things like what I'm doing right now. It's like 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, and, I could do this. I get that freedom. They don't pay a lot, but they push you to sell products and credit cards. I don't mind that. Working the floor is different. They can push me to sell products and services. I have the Best Buy credit card, by the way. I think the Best Buy credit card's great. Obviously, the credit card, it's great if you use it correctly. Like, it's like 12 months interest free. So for me, I'm like, As long as you pay it before before a year ends, you're golden. That's funny. I mean, I think I'd probably be an honest salesperson too. I think I'd be honest, like, here, this is like the perks that you'd get from, like, you know, this CPU or whatever. Like, I don't know. But why sell them up if they don't need all that stuff? Like, it's such a waste. Yeah. Dude, I have the MetaQuest 3 that I got from my brother. I've been doing some virtual reality stuff. You don't have VR, do you? I've been trying to find friends to do, like, VR stuff with. I have one friend I'm really trying to convince to get one. No, you've tried it? I don't. I know, dude. She's always on we're friends on, like, Steam. Always on, like, VR chat and stuff. I honestly, on my VR, like, I get, like, these games, but I haven't, like... LOL, sounds about right. Yeah, like, what is she doing on there, dude? I mean, I know people who, like, really like VR chat. Like, they really get into it. I don't really... It's just a chat room where you just hang out, pretty much, right? I've wanted to, like, go into it and try it. I don't ask questions. I know, dude. I mean, like... Yeah. I'm a little curious what she's up to in there. It's the hangout place. Yeah. It's kind of interesting to me. I'll probably check it out at some point, but I don't know. I've been playing, like, Beat Saber, and, like, I have the Horizon Plus, like, subscription, so I get, like, these free games or whatever every month, and so I've been, like, trying, like, those out and kind of see what they're all about. I don't know. VR is really cool. It is really cool. Beat Saber is sick. It is sick. Like, you can get lost in, like, VR. Like, you're in it, and, like, when you take the headset off, it's almost like jarring. Like, dude, where am I? Like, I was just on this planet fighting aliens and stuff, and all of a sudden I'm just like, I'm back in my room. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? They have VR MMOs. Yeah, I think I've tried looking some up. I don't know if there's like, I have Asgard's Wrath 2, but that's single player RPG, I believe. But so far it's pretty cool. You played Star Wars on VR? Oh, nice. I have Subnautica for VR, and I got this mod that lets me, like, not have to use my controller to move, but, like, I actually can use, like, the Quest controllers. But, dude, I only can play for, like, 15, 20 minutes before I start getting motion sickness. And I'm like, okay, I gotta stop. I know. I want to stream Subnautica VR. Because I think it could be fun content to do. But streaming in VR, it's like... It's because we're old. No, I mean, maybe a little bit, but everybody complains about motion sickness in VR. And what I've heard is that it's something you just get used to. The more you're, like, doing it. You eventually just get used to it, and it doesn't happen anymore. So me, being the fiend that I am, because I'm not quitting just because of a little motion sickness. I'm gonna get Dramamine and just take that before I play anything. And see if that helps. Otherwise, I'll play 15, 20 minutes and I can call it good, and you build your tolerance over time. That's the strat. That's what I hear the strat. Gotta get used to your new world. Yeah. But dude, yeah, like it was like you're like trying to move in the game, like you feel like you're gonna fall over sometimes. If you use the thumbstick to move and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall. You actually like sway your body. But I'm getting used to the movement. I think I can move around in the world better now and not like start tipping. But the motion sickness thing is definitely still a thing. Admittedly, I haven't played like a ton of VR. I don't play like every day, but every now and again, pick it up. I think it gets easier every time. Blade and Sorcery. Yep, I've heard really good things about that game. That's not an MMO, that's also an RPG, right? Oh, Star Wars mods. I know there's a mod for Blade and Sorcery that's like more gore. Like like when you cut someone's arm off, like it actually is gonna like cut their arm off and show the blood and like makes it more gory and I guess realistic in a sense. And so when I saw that mod, I was like, ooh, that looks pretty cool. I've liked one track on here. What was it? This? All right, that was probably for a YouTube video. He almost forgot that I was married. I am. I'm married. She doesn't ever want to be like on camera or anything like that. So I don't like talk about it a ton. You still have your girlfriend? Yo, Boogie, what's up, bro? Using the emote. How do you even have that? I thought that was a subscriber thing. Keep that private? Yeah, I will. I mean, I have them. Still with her, almost 4 years. Nice, dude. That's cool. Let's see. I've been with my wife. Let me think. I think we started dating in like February of 2019. So like 7 years. Our anniversary is coming up, actually. Good thing you brought that up. Oh, you unlocked it through channel points? Oh, okay. I didn't even know that was possible. You missed it, Boogie. I was talking about League a little bit a while ago, but now it's kind of over and I'm just kind of chilling. I'll probably make it a video at some point. I thought my last League stream... And it's just me talking about LCS, not League, but I'm talking about League of Legends competitive. I thought I had great things to say. It was actually my most... The video I posted about it was my most viewed video on the channel. Which, I was like, why? Like, I didn't expect that. And then the Pokemon one that I thought would definitely slap more did not do nearly as well as I thought it would. I should say, I thought I'd get at least 50 on the Pokemon one, like I did on my gameplay one. And like, cause how did my gameplay one get 50 views? What do we think about COD these days, eh? I honestly have no idea. I don't know. I haven't watched anything. I don't know anything about much. It's been creeping into my feed, so I guess that that's the algorithm telling me that maybe my interest is starting to get there, and maybe I just don't know it yet. But it sneaks, some things sneak into my feed every now and again about it. But I don't watch. I don't even know. Is FaZe still good? Like, I know FaZe like broke up and Simp is on there, but it's like I don't think anyone else I know. But that's, yeah, I don't really know what's going on in the COD scene these days. I watch League of Legends too much. League of Legends competitive is the one that takes up all my time now. Like, oops. Dude. I listened to like this awesome song a couple days ago on here, and I can't believe I didn't save it. Oh my goodness! Leighton Shaquin has subscribed on YouTube. Thank you so much, Leighton. How's the WoW grind coming? Haven't touched WoW. Haven't touched WoW in quite a while. Quite a while being like probably like January 10th or something is the last time I played WoW. Almost a month ago. How was I not subbed to the Shade in Your YouTube channel? I don't know, man. It's where all the content goes. Mainly shorts. But I don't know. Recently, my mind's like, I want to be talking about competitive League of Legends because I just watch it all the time. And I'm like, or I watch it on the weekends and I'm like, I gotta talk about it somewhere. You've been playing WoW religiously, Swifty? You playing Class or are you playing Ascension? Because the private servers, like, I don't know. I just like to play the real thing, man. But any game that I play these days, I think, like, can I make some form of content with it? Like, I don't make a ton of content. I kind of just make it when I make it, but I like to have the option. And with private servers, I can't. I'm pretty sure it's not allowed to like stream it or do things with it. And I just can't imagine the player base is bigger there than it is on regular Classic. And regular Classic's player base is already not like massive. You're playing retail, really? Is Midnight's not out yet, right? Because when I was on my WoW kick, I was really excited for Midnight. It comes out in March. Maybe that's when I'll pick up Midnight again. Because I like that they're like getting rid of add-ons and stuff. I haven't kept up with the news, you know, in like a month basically, of what the new updates are about what's coming with Midnight. But I know their intent was like kind of get rid of add-ons to be a necessity. I hate add-ons. Ooh. Dude, I wish I remembered the song I listened to a while ago. They got rid of most of them already and add their own add-ons in this last few weeks. What do you mean added their own add-ons? You mean like they're just built into the game, right? Because like, I feel like damage meters should be built into the game. You know, obviously like heal bot or like heal frames needs to be in the game for healers. Tanking, understanding like threat meters and all that should be built into the game. And I also think it's just like the competitive advantage aspect to add-ons where it's like someone who's just like knows every add-on in the world is just going to have an advantage. Even though WoW, I feel like you hit a certain point where it doesn't even matter if you're doing PvE only. You can get by with just DPS meters as a DPS. Oh yeah, cooldown timers, buff durations, yes. Oh, Deadly Boss Mods is it's a scroll thing. Yes, Deadly Boss Mods was another one I didn't like as an add-on. It was a necessary one for raids. But you're saying that's built into the game now, so everyone's going to be working off the same information, ideally? Simplified, they removed a lot of screen clutter, getting rid of add-ons. Yeah. I concur. So retail, huh? Just because of the new housing? You like the housing in retail? But yeah, I don't know. I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 here and there. League of Legends I'll play here and there. Pokemon, obviously, that's what I stream. I have a goal of... Yeah, you should get King. If you like the first one, I think you'll for sure like the second one. I really enjoy it. I'm surprised. I'm upset for them because I think they didn't win any awards for it. Because Expedition 33 existed. So, like, Best RPG... It should have gone to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I mean, it is a masterpiece of an RPG. And it got, like, no recognition in that way, which was, like, it was a crime. And Expedition 33 is good. I like Expedition 33. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 got really screwed. Intro for Legends. That's me. I wish I knew what the song was that I liked on here. And why don't you like League of Legends? Oh, that's how that works. No. Alright, you'll go get some food. Next time I'll be back later if you're still streaming. Peace, dude. No, I'm probably gonna turn the stream off soon. I wasn't even planning to stream this long. Peacers McPeace. This one sounds kind of good.
Let's pray the night's gonna be alright. Just
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Swifty, for hanging out and chatting. Leighton for subscribing and chatting. Y'all are the best. Have a good rest of your day. I can't hear the music. All right, okay. Didn't work out how I thought that would. Let's see if these. Alright, those credits didn't do what they were supposed to do, but they never have, and I don't know if they ever will. Anyways, goodbye! Peace! Goodbye! Goodbye! If you haven't, follow me on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube. Like all the videos. Goodbye! Peace.